Hello students, welcome to the session. I am Sangeeta Ghosh, bringing to you the second part of the solutions to the PU board question bank for the fourth chapter of microeconomics, the theory of firms under perfect competition. Before proceeding with the session, kindly go through the disclaimer. The session has been prepared for the benefit of ASC students of commerce. This is Part C Solutions, continuing for the fourth chapter of microeconomics, the theory of firms under perfect competition. These are the 4-mark answers. The first question is, write a short note on profit maximization of a firm under the following conditions. A. When price is equal to marginal cost, and B. Marginal cost must be non-decreasing at quantity 0. A firm which is a producing unit is under profit maximization under following conditions. Price must be equal to the marginal cost. Marginal cost must not be decreasing, and in the short run, price must be greater than or equal to the average variable cost, and in the long run, the price must be greater than or equal to the average cost. When market price is P, the profit maximizing firm cannot be at Q1 because at this point the price will be equal to the marginal cost, but marginal cost curve is sloping downwards. At quantity 2 is the output because here price is equal to marginal cost and the marginal cost curve is increasing. It cannot be at any level between Q1 to Q2. Explain the determinants of a firm's supply curve. The supply curve of a firm is the rising part of the marginal cost curve. Any factor that influences the marginal cost will also affect the supply curve. The determinants are the technological progress and the change in the input prices. When technological progress takes place, efficiency increases so the firm can produce more with the given inputs. The marginal cost falls and shifts rightwards or downwards. So supply curve shifts to the right, meaning there is more production. If there is an increase in the price of an input, then the average cost of the firm increases as well as the marginal cost. This will shift the marginal cost to the left, so the supply shifts leftwards. Explain the features of perfect competition. Perfect competition is a market situation wherein there are a large number of buyers and sellers dealing in homogeneous goods and have perfect knowledge of the market. From the given definition, the features of the perfect competition are as follows. There are large number of buyers and sellers. The product is homogeneous. There is free entry and exit of firms. There is perfect knowledge or information, and there is an existence of price-taking behavior. The existence of large number of buyers and sellers means that every individual buyer and seller is very small compared to the size of the market, which means no individual buyer or seller can influence the market by their size. Homogeneous products mean that the product of every firm is identical. So a buyer can choose to buy the product of any firm in the market. There is free entry and exit of firms means that it is easy for the firms to enter the market as well as leave it. They may enter into production or exit from the production of the goods. This condition is essential for the large number of firms to exist. These features result in another distinguishing characteristic of price-taking behavior. A price-taking firm believes that if it sets the price above the market price, it will be unable to sell any quantity of the good that it produces. On the other hand, should the set price be less than or equal to the market price, the firm can sell as many units of the good as it wants to sell. Price-taking behavior is often thought to be a reasonable assumption when the market has many firms and buyers have perfect information about the price prevailing in the market. All firms produce the same good that all the buyers are aware of in the market price. The firm in question loses all its buyers. Individual firms' inability to sell any amount of the good at a price exceeding the market price is precisely what the price-taking assumption means. Write about the shutdown point, normal profit, and break-even point. The shutdown point: in the short run, the firm continues production only as long as the price is greater than or equal to the minimum average variable cost. Along the supply curve, as we move down the last price output combination, the firm produces positive output. Below this, there cannot be any production by the firm because it will run into losses. This point is called as the shutdown point. Normal profit: the minimum level of profit that is needed to keep a firm in existing business is called as normal profit. Break-even point is the lowest point on the supply curve of a firm which makes only normal profit. It is the point of minimum average cost at which supply cuts the LRAC curve or long run average cost curve. We now come to part D, questions, which carry 6 marks. You have 3 questions here, and this requires you to present the answers with the details of the concept. First, you should begin by giving introduction to the given concept by giving the meaning or definition, and then noting down the points and explaining the points and giving a conclusion to the answer. Follow that format, and according to the explanation that you have already understood from the earlier videos and your understanding of the concepts, kindly frame the answers in your notebooks for submission as assignment. The first question is, explain the short-run supply curve of a firm with the help of a diagram. Introduction to the short-run supply curve. It shows the level of output that the firm chooses to produce and supply at different market price, considering other factors constant. The firm produces positive output at market price, which is greater than or equal to the AVC. Explained with the graphical representation of the supply curve. Short-run supply curve will be the rising part of the SMC curve, which is above the AVC. In the diagram, the part of the curve of SMC above the price will be the supply curve. Supply curve always slopes upwards, indicating a positive relationship between price and the quantity supplied. Using these points and the required diagrams, you need to frame the answer for this question and present it for assignment. A firm can sell as many units of the good as it wants by setting a price less than or equal to the market price. A firm earns revenue by selling the goods that it produces in the market. The total revenue of the firm is defined as the market price of the good, denoted as P, multiplied by the firm's output, denoted as Q. Hence, TR is equal to P into Q. We can depict how the total revenue changes as the quantity sold changes through a total revenue curve. A total revenue curve plots the quantity sold or output on the x-axis and the revenue earned on the y-axis. The total revenue increases as the output goes up. This means that the total revenue curve is an upward rising straight line. The average revenue of a firm is defined as the total revenue per unit of output. Hence, AR is equal to TR by Q. Average revenue equals to the market price. Since the market price is fixed at P, we obtain a horizontal straight line that cuts the y-axis at a height equal to P. This horizontal straight line is called as the price line. It is also called the firm's AR curve under the perfect competition. The price line also depicts the demand curve facing a firm. This means a firm can sell as many units of the good as it wants to sell at a price P. Refer the diagrams 4.1 and 4.2 from the chapter and use it for your explanation. Explain the market supply curve with the help of a diagram. Introduction. The long run supply curve is the rising part of the LRMC, or the long run marginal cost. After the equilibrium point, the marginal cost rises. The firm's profit maximizing output is in two cases: when the price is greater than or equal to minimum LRAC. The three conditions required to be satisfied are: price must be equal to MC, the LRMC curve should not be decreasing at the quantity, and the price must be greater than or equal to the LRAC. Refer and also provide the graphical representations of the curve of market supply and provide the explanation. We now come to the last part of the question bank, the part E, project oriented question. The question is computation of total revenue, marginal revenue and average revenue schedules in the following table, wherein the market price of each unit is given as rupees 10. The quantity sold given is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Let us see how you will solve this question. For the solution to the given computation of total revenue, marginal revenue and average revenue schedule for the different quantities sold, the solution is as follows. First, we will look at the formula that is required to calculate these values. Total revenue is equal to price into quantity. Average revenue is the total revenue divided by the quantity. And marginal revenue is the change in the total revenue minus 1. So, according to the formula, look at the table and the calculations of the total revenue, average revenue and the marginal revenue according to the given formula. Total revenue for the quantity sold is nil for 0 quantity sold. Average revenue is also nil, as well as the marginal revenue is nil for 0 quantities sold. And as the number of quantities sold increases from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, you get this following values. Note down